Hey guys, this week we're doing Britain, their elections, and their electoral systems by Garton and Lynch, chapter 17. So, why are elections in general important? As the chapter states, elections are important to the democratic politics. Without them, how would citizens connect with the government? Voters decide what actions need to take place for their own good and make up their minds on their candidates and or political party, which has more or less on what they agree. The political party or the candidate is the voice and representative for decision making. The chapter also states that concerns of the health of democracy is being due to the election and climate. General elections. There are 650 members of the House of Commons, which are elected in single member using the simple plurality system. There is not a fixed time for an election, but it runs in a full 5-year term, even though the Prime Minister can call a general election at the time of his or her choosing and determine the length of the campaign. This can happen when it's favorable and when politics have maximum impact, as well as if a government is defeated in the motion of censure in the Commons. This last happened in 1979 when James Callaghan's Labour government lost a vote of confidence and the ensuing general election. When this happened, the winner of discontent. The electoral process has the Ministry of Justice, the Electoral Commission, and the High Court. The Ministry of Justice is responsible for the conduct of general and European Parliament elections, as well as the local elections in England and Wales. The Blair government introduced new electoral systems for elections to the European Parliament. They also created independent electoral commissions to oversee the conduct of elections, and in 2010 the government introduced a legislation to fix the dates of the future general elections. They also control the funding of the political parties. If there is any reason to think that the election was dishonest or invalid, the High Court takes over to prove fraud, which is very rare. Voting is usually held on Thursdays and times are 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Like in the U.S., schools and village halls around the town are transformed into voting poll stations. They check in with officials with their official IDs, just like in the U.S., and place an X on the form for whoever they'd like to vote for. Citizens who are unable to vote in person can apply for a proxy vote, which is where another person votes for them, or they can mail in their ballot. Proxy only works if you're away from home, like if you're in the military, but postal could be for any citizen. Before, it required more verifications and reasons why you couldn't be there in person. Since it is a representative democracy, voters will choose specific people to make the decisions for them. The People's Parliament is a representative, not a delegate, which is someone who authorizes to act on their behalf of others, but is tied to their instructions. A representative is someone who acts for the group, but uses their own judgment, intelligence, and expertise. While the Member of Parliament can decide on their own, they have to think about the citizens which whom the decisions are being made for. The Member of Parliament is representing both the party and the people. They often find it hard to go what's actually good for the people or what the party wants from them. Since there has been a decline in voting, this is why there has been many things to try to reach people out, such as e-voting and even lowering the voting age. In 2001, the general election was at 59.4% and was raised a bit to 65.1% in 2010, which could have been because the first ever televised debate between the main party leaders, but it was very disappointing and didn't meet the standards that they actually wanted. The questions to consider and discuss is the key point on page 485 where it discusses the change of voting. Before it used to be the age of 21, then it was lowered to the age of 18, and now it's the age of 16. Why do you think they do it, and why do you think people under the age of 25 are least likely to vote? It's also discussed the option of e-voting using technology such as text messaging, internet to vote might be used, therefore increasing participation. What problems do you think might arise with this?